Hello everyone, welcome to the Sports Mechanics YouTube channel. This is Nicholas. Today I am presenting the brand new car from the DS brand, which also introduces a new name. It's called the DS number 8. It won't be the DS8 like the DS9, DS7, it will be the DS number 8. This is also what will happen on future models. They will be rematched. Because they thought it sounded a bit more premium. To say DS number 8, a bit like if you had 12 in the garage. Which one do you take? I'll take number 8, which is very expensive. Let's do a complete tour of this toy car, as usual. We're going to talk about the style. We're going to talk about efficiency. We're going to talk about the engines. There are multiple engines and ranges available, including a fully electric version. This car, we're going to talk about all of that. Battery, very, very big battery. Also, on this car is the interior, which is still rather stylish, as you could see in the intro shots, with a brand new steering wheel. It's super original. And we're going to talk about the style. All this, even though we're starting to get to know these kinds of fastback, cut-out, offbeat SUVs over there in the back that slides like that, we'll also experience the back seats from the perspective of a 6-foot adult like myself. Did you see the stunts I showed you? Very important. Please press the little subscribe button. It's super, super important. So, we are among the first in the world to be able to lay our hands on this car. It will basically be released from September 2025. We will be able to test them in the spring, around 2025, so you can get an idea. In terms of price, we start at around 60,000 euros for the first version, and the more luxurious versions, therefore, will be around 65,000 euros. We will have a few small options, but we don't know everything yet, but count on around 65,000 euros for a nice version. In terms of size, it measures 482 meters long, 1.90 meters wide by 1.58 meters high. It's shorter than a DS9, which measures 493 meters. What will be interesting is the wheelbase inside to see the space we have. 2.90 meters. That's starting to make it a pretty big baby all the same. So it's the spacing between the wheels that should leave quite a bit of room for the trunk, also for the rear seats. We'll talk about it as soon as we're inside. In terms of weight, we're around 2,100 kilograms for the version with the small battery, about 2,300 kg for the version with the large battery, and four-wheel drive. While we're talking about that, about weight, battery, etc., there will be 3 versions. There will be the 230 horsepower version, which will have the small 74 kW battery, which gives us a range of about 570 kilometers. Then there will be the version with a single motor at the front, 245 horsepower, but the big battery, what we will call the long range, which is a little bit powerful at 245 horsepower. A bit heavier also, because the first one goes from 0 to 100 in 7.7 seconds, 7.8 seconds for the big autonomy, because we add a little bit of weight, but basically a tenth of a second, we are going to say that it doesn't feel. Then we will find the all-wheel drive version, that is to say 4-wheel drive, engine at the front and engine at the back, which it will be more powerful. It will have 350 horsepower. Now it's starting to get more interesting. And each time there will be a little boost that will be present or not. The battery's level, conditions and temperature determine the state of charge. We could have 30 horses for the first one. In addition, we could have 35 horses for the second one and 25 horses for the most powerful version. In 4-wheel drive. So it adds each time these little phases, but otherwise most of the time we will have 230, 245 or 350 horses. And the 50 version 4-wheel drive, it will have a 0 to 100 much nicer, let's say 5 seconds, 5. It's a more dynamic car with a chassis that should be nicer and more dynamic than what we usually drive, according to what they told us. To be seen, because there is still a little bit of weight, but it's true that wide cars, large wheelbase, it should be quite stable. The small battery has a capacity of 74 kW, while the large battery has 97 kW. Point 2, which announces an extended range up to 750 kilometers in worldwide harmonized light vehicles test procedure, 750 kilometers. It's becoming more enjoyable. They are announcing a Paris to Lyon without recharging on the highway and 500 kilometers on the highway, driving at 120 km/h, which is hot. I'm tempted to conduct autonomy tests. It's something I enjoy doing. You know me from my channel, where I often do consumption tests. It would be interesting to verify if their claims are true. Underneath, it's the Stellantis group, so we share the platform. It's the platform form. It was the 1000, so the medium, which basically is also the base of the 3008, 5008. With its battery packs from the 408 electric also, however, this one will only be available in electric. Most of the others, for example, the 3008, we can find it in hybrid, for example, in rechargeable hybrid. Los Angeles at DDS, they said full elect for 2025. In terms of recharging, we will be able to recharge up to 160 kilowatts on a fast charger in 11 or in 22. Consider using the right adapter in your car for faster charging if you have access to compatible terminals at home or work. While we're talking about speed, the speed is limited to 190 kilometers per hour for this car, so it's still a car made for the highway. Starting from 120, consumption increases slightly, and at 130, it increases significantly more, peaking at 190. We'll lose significant autonomy. With only 62 miles to travel, why not go for it? But let's not forget that an electric car, the goal is to drive at a moderate speed. We still have charges a little faster than before. 160, it's not the best there is, but we keep an architecture. 400 volts does not allow recharging up to 300 to 350 kilodollars. However, thanks to this hatch here at the back, we will have a recharge. A 20-80% charge in 27 minutes, or 10-80% as most brands claim. In just over 30 minutes, we have a ground clearance on this car of 15.5 centimeters, so it's not too much either. Off-road adventurer, it's a car made for driving. It's a kind of sedan that's a little bit raised, sport utility vehicle, eyed, because making low sedans with large battery packs is not easy, even though there are brands that do it quite well. And I admit that I would like to see this kind of car because it's cool, the sedan. Since it's an electric car, there are quite a few other factors to work on. Comfort, that's quite important because it's still a DS. So we have controlled suspensions with a camera that will read the road's imperfections a bit, which should normally adapt. So we should have comfort, we should have dynamism, because precisely if it's controlled, it can harden and stiffen its suspensions a bit. Let's see what it gives. The one pedal feature will be available, which is practical for city driving or those who prefer it. I know that it's pretty good. After that, I like to have total freewheel and be able to play from time to time. It's pretty good. All wings with adaptive cruise control and level 2 driving. We will even have the automatic wire change just with a blinker pulse without having to confirm this time. That's an evolution. The predictive cruise control slows down for turns, roundabouts, etc., especially on small mountain roads. In summary, this vehicle will include all the latest features available within the Stellantis group. As it's an electric car, the heat pump is quite efficient when it's cold. Heat pump standard on all cars. One obvious thing you can see is this two-tone. This two-tone is quite special since it first paints the hood. Then they use the technique that we use, for example, on a sheet with an inkjet, and in fact the inkjet is printed directly onto the bodywork. That's quite unique with the varnish directly that goes well. So it gives this extended two-tone style that goes up to the front. And that it's quite rare to see a two-tone car. It's often the top, pillars and roof, but rarely the hood. Renault released this on its 450, but only up to a certain point. Beyond that, it's a different part. They extended it all the way down, which is quite interesting.
What do you think of this part painted like that?
So, about the front part already. Even when I'm next to it, it's still a somewhat massive car. It feels big, imposing, well positioned, so camera up there, the glass roof, we'll talk about it inside. This slightly sloping part is designed to enhance aerodynamics. They experimented extensively with it. On the 110 of this car, we have a 110 at 0.24, which is pretty good in the electric car field. We still have this part here, straight in the middle of the hood, so this time not something laid out, like the DS9 for example, but we still have the badge here. The Palace version will be the first release, while the Star version will be the premium top-of-the-line model. You will have to count about 5,000 additional euros also to have this version. So basically, if we add the battery pack plus the Star version, we add 10,000 euros to the base version. As I mentioned, it's entirely black, painted up to this point, and things are occurring here. We have the DS here, which is backlit, so this is a first for DS at the front here. So we can see it with this logo. Then we have a grille lit through this plexi plate called the luminous screen. So these are small LED parts directly behind here, plus which go from very thin to slightly wider lines going to the outside of the vehicle. A camera here for the 360 camera pack and a camera with the night vision that is integrated right there, which is rather well hidden. That's pretty cool. Ooh, I like having this option. I made a dedicated video about it on the channel with a Peugeot I can't remember. In 2008, you showed something that I think you liked, and more than 150,000 people saw it. If you search for sporty mechanics night vision, you'll see it's an impressive technology that has remained the same for years, but it's still quite incredible. License plate holder with active aerodynamic flaps in the middle sensor allows a gain of 14 kilometers. They told us when they closed the highway, which is quite interesting. And then when we go up there and on the sides, we see a new light signature. So at DS, they had, for example, moved on to the DS7, DS4, to parts where it was laser, etc. They have returned to a more traditional dish, a plate of Oplex. LED crystal part. Pretty nice. So in 5 on this car, on each side to widen a little bit, and then matrix lights. We have 24 segments per headlight. So 24 here, 24 there, and little dots, as you can see. Little Parisian nails, as they're called. We have 8 in each optical block, as it's the DS number 8. We have 3 parts right here. And when we're in a straight line, we have an additional block that will light up on the side. Here to be able to illuminate. 100 meters further when we're in full beam, and in full beam, from full beam basically. So it allows, I believe, to see up to more than 520 meters, 520 meters. It normally leaves you when even. A pelican crossing is visible. It's uncertain. The night vision camera will detect small animals like cats or does and display them on the dashboard, which is pretty useful. Something quite unique is the way they've integrated these optical blocks here and these daytime lights, because they stand out, they exceed, they are really sharp, I would say, and why not? When I see it from here, I can add something. In fact, it's really nice and flat then. There's a flat part here, it stands out well. In fact, it's like this too. It plays on aerodynamics because it better flattens the air, and because it's cut straight, it plays that. I tell you quite often, on the front, it also plays like on the back. A little lower, we find a kind of blade here, which protrudes well on the front in two-tone as well, body color and black. It's quite nice. In short, on the front, what do you say? After, there, you don't see it like that. I put you on the side. It's quite vertical. Look, don't move. I take you with me. I like it like that. We see it here, there. Hop, I set the camera. You see, it's very straight, and there we have, it's the same. It's enough. That it's stylish. Anyway, the grille afterwards, it looks a bit plastic. Look, I'm taking you back here. Plexi, why not? It might make a bit of light on light to see. What do you think? On the side, we find a 4-meter car. You remembered 82 well then? That makes us a beautiful baby, as we can immediately see. That's it, this rear end called fastback, which is very fashionable at the moment. So what's quite strange is that here, it goes up like a normal car, and it starts to fall here. Slowly, 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 slowly. And this part, it's long. I find, I'm not a big fan of brakes or SUVs. Or when it's straight, then we have a real brake and it goes down. It also impacts aerodynamics, which is a bit of a trend. What's a shame is that it leaves less room because I'm going to have my head placed here. So obviously, if it goes down, a little less space, so we'll see what it looks like inside. Just after, on the side, we have a few quite simple lines. The one that starts from the hood here, that comes across there, that comes to blend here, quietly. Then there, they had a little fun little line that goes down there and that. So they had to integrate the charging port at this location. So here is the charging port, as I was telling you, up to 160 kilowatts, a 20 to 80% in about half an hour. Let's say for the side, we can see 3 little lines here. So I was told that I was one of the few who found it. A digital key will likely be included with the phone, allowing us to unlock the car in the near future, although this feature is not available yet. For now, they continue to develop the system to have something foolproof, as I was saying next, a metallic paint like this, which has small grey sparkly reflections, quite nice depending on the lights. So here we are in the studio, it doesn't give me the reality. I can't wait to be outside to see what it looks like. The handles that are taken from the DS3, for example, flush handles that will then come out to open the door, the rear handle. However, it has been hidden right here, in this part. So I told the engineers, I'm telling you too, this way of doing things, in fact, I think it's already too small, and the way to open it. In fact, I come to knock my knuckles here, so my goal is to hide nothing from you. I tell you, everything in video, it's a little bit hard. I admit, I'm not a huge fan of this part. Well, there you have it. It's just my opinion. Feel free to form your own. But the way to get it in, I'm showing you everything here, so I'm putting my hand here. When I try to open it, I can't just pull it. You actually have to put your fingers in and pull from the bottom.
Actually, it's down there. And when I come here, I lean on this part. And it's not very pleasant.
Otherwise, you have to pinch here and pull like this. But there's a big fingerprint. I don't like leaving fingerprints on my cars. Here's a small detail, engineers. If you could fix this, it would be great. We're going to do something like most modern cars now with a small electric part where I put my fingers in and it unlocks the door for me. That would be really good. Hop, we go back, hop there. How pretty it is there. Here is then a back there here, which comes very, very straight also, like at the front. So we said it's very straight down there, it's very straight here, and off we go. Light that we're going to see lit all the time. So you're going to see on the back, it's very massive also. It gives style to this car. So we have this falling part, a little round with flat down there, and repuff, puff, puff. It's a bit complex to grasp aesthetically. The shark-type antenna and the large panoramic roof, as I mentioned earlier, 21-inch rims on this Starry version and this top-of-the-range version. The 21-inch rims are forged rims that allow to save up to 6 kgs compared to the 20-inch rims, which are not forged. So it's still aluminum, but it does make a difference, having forged ones because they are shaped differently, etc. We have disc brakes at the front, at the back, depending on whether we have a four-wheel drive version or a two-wheel drive version. We will have recovery either at the front or front and back. That will also play a role, so no need to put two big brakes on electric cars. And the advantage also is that we rarely wear these pads unless we really drive in a very, very brutal way, since the electric motors regenerate directly. The rocker panels, wheel surrounds, arches, and black surrounds are still placed at the front and back, like this, to give it a slight side angle. Sport utility vehicle style, even if they don't want it to be called a sport utility vehicle. But it's a fastback sport utility vehicle sporty. Fastback, as Alpine says, what they don't want is for it to be a sport utility vehicle. It's the same base with a different top. For me, it's a bit the same style, let's say. It's the same technical bases each time when I'm on the back. Here we have a little spoiler that will come to play with a small raised part and a sort of lip that is laid all along. I'm also waiting for your opinion. After the front, tell me in several comments if you want. The front, I think this. The back, I think this. Or the side, sorry, we're not at the back yet. And then a little comment for the back. I think this. Are you up for it? I almost forgot my little three-quarter back move that you like and that I like too. We can see this part well placed here. Look, in fact, we can really lean here. It's almost flat. It's a little bit curved. But here, this part that then becomes almost flat, it further widens this rear part, which is rather massive. And that, we know, it's a little bit like everything in life when we have solid foundations, so it inspires confidence. We say to ourselves, it looks well grounded, it looks sturdy. And there, precisely the fact of having done that, it grounds the car and says, yeah. And then up there, it's, as you know, a handsome guy, and he gets the little cut up there. That's how it works. The design is simple, a sturdy base and a thin top, bringing together finesse and muscularity. I should redefine myself as a designer one day. The lights here, we can see them well. Look there in the back. There are still some with the concept. Because over there, I'll take you for a little walk like this in another video. Like this, you'll discover a little bit of everything. So this rear lip here, this very, very inclined window, no wipers on it. So I admit that wipers, I find them quite practical. They say it scrolls with high-speed wind, but not when we're at lower speeds. I find it a bit of a shame because when it rains in the city, we don't see very well. Then there is a camera right there that will also serve us as a mirror. Inside, digital central, digital with a screen, and that's good. I noticed a small nozzle. It's greatly considered camera cleaning. Well done. Full rear. Here, it's still different. It's still a different style. It feels like having three cars in one. So this large window that goes down with this big shark antenna there, placed right in the center, as I was saying there, it's nice and flat. We have the DS automobile marked in a sort of brushed aluminum here with the number 8 right in the center of the car. So here, it's really to say DS automobile. It changes. And look, we're here, we're marked, it's written in big, why not? I find that the more sober it is, the better. Afterwards, most brands, even luxury brands, now put logos. I used to love Lacoste. It was a small, classy brand with its iconic little crocodile logo. You knew it was a Lacoste. They now make large items, such as 12 Crocs. Anyway, I'm not the one who invents the style, but I found it more classy. For example, the brand Tommy Hilfiger. The small, discreet, white and red flag is classy and simple, yet effective. It's not about showing off. We recognize it anyway, we know it's there. Then here it's written in bigger, the number 8 here right in the center. Why not? It's original. Afterwards, we'll have to recognize it because it's certain that if we removed that, what kind of car is it? If I hide this from you, I think you would be unable to tell me what kind of car it is if you saw it on the street like that. Because there's no DS logo, actually we just have the logo at the front, backlit but not at the back. So today it's marked, the lights, so this large part here with these 3 lines here, well marked. This one is huge, so we will see and recognize it really well. Compact discs are always the same. Little boomerangs with lights inside, which are quite pretty. I didn't turn on the blinkers, I don't have any that work. It's all this part here that lights up. Okay, I would have liked that. There might be something scrolling like that on the top, but from this side you're sure to be seen.
And at the front is the same, it's the 5 that lights up. So here we can see it, we're sure to be seen.
Then we go down, everything is painted on this car, even the bumper here, the black at the dock. We have the backup camera here, the plate and the big light right in the middle. Small reflectors on the bottom, a kind of diffuser to evacuate the air. The entire underside of the car is flat, it also affects the car's autonomy. That adds around 6.21 miles more. They've done a lot of things like these lights here that are cut straight for aerodynamics. That also plays a part. The tires add 1 or 2 kilometers and the rims add 3 or 4 kilometers. So all these factors combined make a difference. The third brake light is concealed here, making it invisible when standing close, but visible from a distance. To open the trunk, it's the same, hidden right under the number 8 in the center. I like that it's centered. Of course, it opens electrically, as expected from a premium range car. This generous trunk offers up to 163.5 gallons of storage space. We have 1.16 meters in length from here to there, 1.16 meters, that's long legs. The carpet everywhere, it's good, it's a bit luxurious. When we enter, there's a plastic door sill. Maybe we could replace it with a small metal one to add some style. Why not? You know the animals, so there, like that, you see that it fits then. However, I won't close it because the window, in fact, it ends here, so then it's nice, fast back. In reality, we lose all the trunk space that we would have had in a sport utility vehicle, for example. But the length, so much space that we could fit from Nico. If we lay them down like this, then underneath here, we're going to see a year. It folds up like a wallet. Not easy. Sport, I have a little bit of space here, and on this side, I'm going to have the box. Since we have a Foco sound system, we're going to see what it looks like inside, and it's rather nicely done. In addition, we have the bench that will be well in 40-20-40. A little bit of space, a small net on this side. In short, it's not bad. And 1.16 meters in diagonal. Me, I pass, and the legs like this. She also passes on the length. A little bit of space. Yes, I didn't tell you about the colors. There will be 5 colors available for this car, plus the 2 tones. This one is called Palladium Gray. There will be Alabaster White, there will be Topaz Blue. Those are 3 new colors. Then we will still have the Perla Black and the Crystal Pearl, and for the interiors, we will have 5 choices. We will have genuine leather, tanned slightly differently due to ecological considerations, but it's still real animal hide. Because it seems that we eat, so it's not wasted directly. And it's tanned with olive oil or olive leaf or something like that. That's what I understood. Which apparently is better for nature. We can have an interior in white, blue, black, in leather, in brown as we have today, or in Alcantara, in blue, in white and in black. That's good. We can choose the highest quality Alcantara, which I prefer for comfort. So it's true that leather, it ages maybe a little better, but Alcantara, it's cool anyway. So, at the rear of this car, this handle that is a little bit special, I admit that I'm not really getting used to it. The door is huge, however, it seems light. I don't know how they made it light because it's still a big baby. When I arrive and I see this door, we have an incredible finish at the back. That's very rare on a car. To have a nice finish at the back, With all this leather spread all over the door, that's great. I arrive and I see my Focal Electra 3D sound system. Sound system, it's the same, brushed aluminum piece, laser engraved, it's very pretty. The hard plastics on the bottom and footboards are a bit disappointing, just basic plastic. As we find on a Peugeot 208, it's exactly the same as a Peugeot 208, that we could make a little effort on that. We have the opening handle here. We have LED inside for the ambient color. For now, we only have 8 colors. Others will arrive on future versions later at the restyling maybe. I get into this car, Nicholas, at 1.80 m. I didn't adjust my front seat. I don't have it. I do it well. We have the front tilt. That's good. Nicholas is driving. I get into this car, bending slightly as I enter. My door, Nicholas is 6 feet tall. If I stand up straight, it hits up there. Oh yeah, it's fastback, it's coupe. So the tall ones. If I look over there, I get the LED directly in the forehead because I have this part here when I don't stand up straight. It's a shame, so I'll have to be like this. But since the seats are tilted at 30 degrees and you can't adjust their tilt, I won't be able to be in this area here where it's hollowed out at the head level because I'm not going to stay like this. With my back offset, especially since it's an electric car, it accelerates quite well, so it's going to push me back, so I avoid going there. It's a shame. They say we get a bit more chill like this, but for the lower back, it's not ideal. The best spot is a good seat in the back. Then, as it's an electric car, we have the battery pack positioned underneath. I often say it, I like to have support behind my thighs, the fact that I am 6 feet tall, which does not make me one of the tallest people. I have absolutely no support from here to there. I have no support, so that means all my pressure is exerted on my buttocks. It's quite comfortable at the backrest level. It also goes a little bit. We have a bit of lateral support, but my legs are quite bent and I can't put my feet lower and further away. Because this seat is placed directly on the floor, as it is not at all hollowed out, I can't move my feet forward more than this. So that means I won't be able to stretch my legs to be able to relax a little bit. That's a bit of a shame in a car that claims to be a sedan sport utility vehicle, eyesed, made for road travel. I would have liked a little bit more. The problem is that we can't raise our seats. So maybe dig a little bit here, but there's the battery. Engineers are complicated. Afterwards, we're not too badly set up. We have a nice view of the front. We have this large glass roof here, which is quite nice. So that spoils my view a little bit. They put the shark-type antenna up there, so they need that. But I enjoy the front, and as soon as I look a little there, that obstructs my view a bit, the beauty of the sky. And we have drawings made directly on it, so that's just to make it pretty. And no vellum, no opaque roof. It stays like this all the time. Apparently, according to them, it's not too bad. We will also test in the spring and summer, likely in Spain as usual. I can provide an opinion on that after the tests. There, the elbow rest. There is no tab, so I have to go push my finger in.
There, I am a woman with beautiful, well-manicured nails. With claw-like things like that, I'm not going to do it because I'm going to break a nail.
There, same mistake, the little tab. Here, gentlemen. In addition, there is a seam, we just have to sew on it. There. The corridor is comfortable, with a double cup holder and a place to put your phone. Yeah, it's not too bad. With a nice view to the front, it's good. We have this extended leather everywhere, so we can see it. This finish is frankly very pretty. The strand. I wanted to do this one because it changes a little bit. It was mainly the one that was well lit. We have the leather pockets here. Okay, as it's leather, it's not elastic, so they are mounted a little bit with play, but not that much. I can't pull too much on it. I couldn't put big things here. I couldn't put a bottle, otherwise I'm going to tear the leather. That's a shame. So it's nice, but it's a shame. You would have to put the bottle on the side. Maybe a big bottle can fit on the side, a little bit diagonally, maybe to test. We have a tri-zone air conditioning, 2 zones at the front, 1 zone at the back. I can adjust airflow and temperature with heated and ventilated seats for both front and rear passengers as an option. And the 2 at the front, as an option, can even be massaging. That's pretty good, but ventilated at the back, that's rare and it's quite pleasant. For the summer, with the air conditioning, we just have this little block here providing a bit of air. Ventilating my seats for the summer will make it much nicer. We have the loops here that are mounted on straps. What does that give in the middle? What's good is that we have an almost flat floor, so there's a little bump just to play with the mats, in my opinion.
So the backrest is very hard.
I want to stand up straight, but I can't. My head also hits up there, so I'm going to have to slouch. The seating is good, but there's a prominent bump that's noticeable when leaning back, more so than on the sides. The design pushes against my buttocks, forcing me to lean forward slightly to maintain my posture. It's likely intended to make me slouch a bit. It's a shame that despite the 2.9-meter wheelbase, they moved the seats forward to prioritize trunk space. Because they did that, my feet don't fit here in the middle.
And I wear a size 44, 45. So I would have to put my feet like a duck here in the same. My legs are raised high, yet this area is quite hollowed out.
Well, why not? I still have room. For the knees, they made sure to leave some space for the knees. The backrest, on the other hand, is very firm. It's not the best seat. The sides are better. The seat belts. So we have the sleeve that folds down, but they didn't think to make something so that the belt stays on the side. So here, if it falls there, it falls behind. Well, why not? We have the small reading lights, the LEDs on each side there. In terms of space, it's pretty decent. What we have left to do now is to go check out the front seats and see what it's like in that area. I forgot to mention the 2 USB-C ports, cigarette lighter socket, and small storage compartment in this area. All right, let's move to the front. I'm going to show you the interior, but first I'm giving you a brief tour of the studio since there are several. Over there, there's the concept, but here we mainly have different colors. Ah, there's a colleague inside. No worries, we'll let him work on that side. We have a blue one here, the blue one. So this one, I find it superb, so the handle is always there. The interior is quite attractive with its predominantly white color scheme. Sorry, there's not much light left here. The photographer left with his tubes there. You can see on the ceiling. No, you can't see too much there. And what I really like is the front with this two-tone. Actually, this mix of blue and white, and especially what we also see, are these parts there. So we can see that the fold here, the seam, is in the middle of the seat, and it's not separated between the bulges on the sides and there. The fold in the middle is nice and original. I like the little pocket on one side. We'll see how it looks on mine later. Later, if it's comfortable, we also have this for the neck. A neck heater, that's super original on a sedan. We don't usually have it. Then we find here the interior parts, the little stars here, which go this way, and an interior that is rather pretty. I admit that I like this combination, but there are others as well. There is over here in black leather with the watch strap style, as we know at DS. And here, it's much more sober, with always this at the nape of the neck, the steering wheel. This, we'll talk about it again in mine, but I'm going to show you this one over there. If the colleague agrees with the luminous signature. There, as soon as it gets a little darker, don't move. We're going to ask him. I don't know if he wants to. Are you filming? Thank you. I'll borrow it for 30 seconds. Do you want to be on TV or not? No, that's okay, thanks. I'm just doing this to show the seats. Hold on, I'm pushing you. That's nice. On this side, we find the Alcantara seats, which are very nice, with the same fold in the middle, but we also have folds on this side. It's really nice. And above all, the DS is illuminated in this one. The bald nook will be in all other models, along with Alcantara rear seats. However, the interior of this one really gives a very cozy atmosphere. It feels like being at home, with a slightly dark atmosphere though. The mounts, and here, in white, with the 3D focus, right here. And this steering wheel, don't move the steering wheel, I'll talk about it in mine. Thank you very much. Let's go, we continue over there. And so we move on to this one. So with this knob, this white color, and large rim, I'll take you around as usual, because you know I like to show you all around the car. There, in fact, when it moves like that, I find that it's fire. It reminds me of a car, so I can't remember which one. For me, there is a car that came out not long ago with these shapes of rear fire. Tell me in the comments if you find it. There, hop, and we go around again. This fastback side. What do you think about it? Go on. Let's move to the front because I'm out of time. I've already overrun. Hop. The handle then, which will be flush but which will protrude a little more, it's because these are pre-production models. And at the front, it's like at the back. So look at this extra finish with leather. The pearl stitch here, which is very, very pretty, which is specific to DS. It's hop point. We go there, hop. I'm not sure of the technique, but it's stylish. Here, we have lighting. I'm unsure why the ambient lighting is missing as it's in demo mode. There will be LED lighting here, along with a handle to grab and close the door. Come and grab here. Then we find this very DS style. Thank you, DS, for doing something specific for your window lock commands. It's a change from the 100 group in fabric. They take the same thing for everyone. Back parts in plastic or the bottom in plastic, like the back. Always with this that is grained, as I was saying, like on a Peugeot 208 base. The Electra, 3D bifocal features, a laser cut finish with a nice overall appearance. Then, next we have a small fabric, and then we go back to leather. Everything that is accessible by hand is pleasant. Small DS logo right here, which is a little bit changed with this S. That is different from before. The electric seats also with the massage function, thanks to the small button right in the middle. And those, they are very, very beautiful as well. I admit that the other one does not leave me indifferent. That of the colleague just behind this wall, the aluminum pedal set, you pull twice to open the front hood. Under the front hood, there is not much, so which is very disturbing. If I come to get something here done, no, it's I grab here and I bring my door there. And normally we have an LED lighting here inside. I don't know why it's not on. I'm going to try to find that out. The steering wheel, we're going to talk about it now, because the X-shaped steering wheel like this is quite incredible. They did an excellent job. I didn't like the Alpine at 290 at all, if you recall. The steering wheel was swarming, similar to the others. Here, we have a steering wheel that is radically different. We have never seen a steering wheel like this, and we will see what it gives. So, I'm trying to change the drive modes. Does it light up the LEDs? No, it doesn't light up. Someone must have turned them off. We will try to find that out right after. So we come back to the steering wheel, kind of my dishes, one rounded, my dishes there, and very, very original, the DS in the center. And look, normally we grab at 10 past 10. When we drive, we are like this. What's good is that the 10 o'clock, 10, and well there, I'm going to have something to brace my thumb and put the hand. On the other hand, they did something very smart. It's when I calm down to Marie, if look, it's a little bit bigger there. So that means that my hand, when I slide it, it automatically stops there, which allows me to close and perfectly place my thumb. Well done, DS, because this steering wheel is very cool for that, so it changes. And I even have a feeling where my finger here comes to be there, like that I can drive there with the finger here. Why not? It changes. I have the paddles, however, which are lower because we have paddles behind for energy recovery on each side. Less on this side, more on that side, so that means that to do the paddle, however, we'll even need the little finger. It's far and it's not pleasant. So they planned that we can drive at 9:15 as we usually do when we have branches here. So I can slide my thumb there because they've dug and we can see it. It allows me to put it here. Then they enlarge the rim with this part or the same. I can position myself this way and there in that condition. With my middle finger or index, I can then play with the paddle. And that's pretty smart. Can't wait to test this in real conditions on the road because it's extraordinary. I love it. It changes when you see it too. Wow, so it seems a little bit like a spider, like we say something that is placed there, but it's stylish. But it's the same. We have small touches, a little bit golden, which we also find there. I'm excited to show it to you in sunlight. It'll look fantastic. The DS automobile that was reminiscent below, right here on this side, that we know in the group. It's the driving aids, the assistant or the limiter, the distance with the preceding vehicle. Reactivate the mode. Okay, faster, slower. This side includes the volume, media, voice command, phone controls, paddles, and steering wheel. Then we find the lights right here. What if I cut it like this? No, it doesn't change. And on the other side, it will be the windshield wipers, right there, of course.
Auto mode, automatic light, matrix light, all automatic. The mirror control is here.
So I can play here, I can fold it like this, I turn. It doesn't do it because it's a demo vehicle, windshield defrosting, because we have small filaments inside. I don't think you will see them. Wait, I'm going to try a focus like this, technical focus. There, we see them, the filaments, you see them there in the windshield. There, yes. Double pressing here opens the trunk. This is for the alarm, which I'll show you later. Below there's an adjustable steering wheel that can be adjusted in height and depth and pulled towards the driver. The screen behind, a 10.25-inch screen, as usual. What you see right in the middle here is an infrared camera that allows me to see my face, to see if I'm paying attention to the road or not. So, it's the same. This is new, same. This meter also. And we have a head-up display right there, even though it's not active right now. A part and fabric here, very pleasant. Honestly, everything I see is super quality. I expected brown to be the highest quality, but surprisingly, I find blue to be the best. It's incredible. And this part here, it's very stylish because it continues and goes all around the dashboard. There, that's cool. That's the same. A little bit of gold on the buttons, the vents, which we always adjust in this way. However, the airflow, we don't have it at all here. We don't have any airflow, so it will necessarily be with the screen, the flow, a screen here that does. 16 inches long, so they made it very thin, but very long. It almost looks like two like that, which are glued to each other. They wanted a central, low-profile, head-up display with a screen behind the wheel, unlike Peugeot's taller design, to avoid overflow. This is much better, as it provides shortcuts and seems quite fluid. There's a section reserved for passengers, so he can play on his side while I play on mine. Massage cat's paw, that's my favorite. They took it back. Oh, they're there. Friends are massaging the cat's paw. It's the best. It's, you know, what goes tack, 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 as if it's a little cat. You know it's not crap. It massages me, so I keep going. There, I can change the radio. All this, the volume, here is the ugly one's uprising. I'll talk to you about the volume again. Then we have the volume, so here, or a little lower, but that, we'll discuss it again later. Here we have small lines to widen this screen a bit. We have a metal finish, not plastic. It's really well done. Then warning button, listen to the sound of the blinker. Okay. Air recycling, defogging the driving aids here, disable the speed limit alert. So we have our shortcut well seen also right here. Some fogs there, mini maxi, and turn off the air conditioning if I wish. The parking brake is well hidden, it's there, pretty cool. The button to start the car. Start and stop right here. A part to put your phone with induction charging here. Look at this, it looks like a shooting star that seems to be accelerating a bit, like in a Model S Plaid. There, not a star. On this side, the drive modes. So the drive modes, we will have Sport Normal and Eco. So they're going to change the themes of the car and the colors a little bit. Then we have a home shortcut button right here. Well, don't remove it. So it's a pre-production car, so it comes out in about a year, the cars. Then press parking, here drive. I pull towards me and back up. I activate one pedal here, which lights up green when active. That's pretty cool. Turn on or off the music and shush, sleep basically. This is the mute and the volume right here. I admit I've always preferred knobs. I find them easier and more convenient because here, we are here by example, and I find it better. Otherwise, it's true that there is the mute button, but I like the feeling especially. Since it's focal, the feeling of a good rotating button, I always find it much more pleasant, the focal. So we have them up here, as I was saying, we have them there, we have a little bit everywhere at the front, and the sound is incredible. We have the rear camera, as I was saying then there, it's all yellow because at the back we are in a studio background setting. So camera, no camera, camera. It's quite funny. Sensitive LED right here on both sides. The button to call, save our source or assistance. And then on this side, by sunlight, two small, very white LEDs. A tiny mirror. Look, it's so tiny, tiny. The large panoramic glass roof, we can see it. So I don't know if you can see the grooves well. We see it very, very little, in fact, but there is a little style here drawn inside the dashboard. So we talked about that. The glove box, here, standard glove box. We just have a small carpet at the bottom, but otherwise we feel that it's taken from other cars. It's the same, in my opinion, as in a 208, 308, all that. Then we have a large storage space here, under this shelf here, that makes the top. We have a part here that opens up. Double door cup holder. This can also be removed if he wants to store slightly larger things. The car features two USB-C ports, dual cup holders, and a convenient storage compartment for glasses. What I like is that through her to her carpet, it's all soft, and that it's rather pleasant. Don't worry, it's not well glued. Pre-production model. There, I'm pretty good. I'll have my little breeze blowing on my neck. Warm air. We have good seat visibility and I feel well supported. Plus, I'm getting a massage, which is cool. There, I think I've shown you pretty much everything. No, I haven't shown you this. Look there, hop and the car keys. Which key? From there are two. I have a kind of cup holder also here, which will be more convenient than that one down there, because down there, the cup holder, well, not super useful besides. Hop, okay, that I like. It's this kind of little animation. It's all silly, but I find it cool. Extended leather part as well. Here, I click there, we have space, and we can see that it's refrigerated with a little star. Still this little part here that we can remove, and it's always quite deep. That's good news. And in addition, it's lit. We're used to it in the group, and that's pretty good, especially that it needs to be refrigerated. There. La. I think I've told you everything normally about this car. Now, little debrief outside. I don't have. I was testing something because I didn't put on the ambient lighting. So, Nicholas, testers, under all conditions. Look, I wanted to play on the screen. What do? We played on the screen. I say to myself, I'm going to go there. So I put my elbow here, a thin one. That falls. It's a shame. So I can't put my elbow there and do the screen. So I'm going to have to put my hand up there and then go play on the screen. But I would have liked to be able to settle there because precisely it's better to be settled so as not to play too much, especially if there are areas, anomalies on the road. And so I was looking for the settings to go set the brightness. What you think is one interior lighting? Yes, visit lighting, max brightness, head-up display. Yeah, it's opening. High head display lighting. Okay, full brightness. I want everything at full. So here we have this. I didn't find the side lighting. This, I want to find it. Do you think I'm going to make it? Customization. Maybe by the screen color, the interior color is not yellow. Over there, like that, there, I see why it doesn't work. Maybe it's the demo model. It's still not working. I'll try to find you one, but may not succeed. Otherwise, a brief update. Well, so this new DS number 8, which we must not call the DS8, it's the number 8. What do we think about it? So the interior, I find it quite incredible. Me, as a driver, often, if you watch this channel, it's often you who buy the cars. So as a driver, we are very well. This very, very cool interior atmosphere. I really like the exterior style. That after it's to each their own taste. I aim to provide some perspective, but my main goal is for you to form your own opinion. Rear seat, it may lack a little bit of space for a car that is meant to travel. Not bad. Calendars, enlightened, all that. In terms of style, at least, it's different. We were not used to it. We recognize a little bit of the brand's DNA. In any case, especially on the inside, on the outside, we can say, yeah, it really changes radically. Well, I can't wait to try it on the road, see the consumption, if it's as efficient as that. You tell me, yes, we worked on this, but you know that on the road, it's this. The truth test under real conditions. So, eagerly awaiting this test of DS number 8 to also test its autonomy.
All this recharging, and then there you go, recharging again. Don't hesitate to share your thoughts on this car in
the comments. Little blue thumb for the video, because that's for Nico. If you like the channel, it's super important to subscribe. I'll see you soon for the next video. Bye, and thank you. For watching this video.